Hello and welcome to the Joe Ligato Show. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Ligato, and today we're going to be talking about the American military because I like to see what the LGBTQ and furry community is up to from time to time. And so the military is, as this article states in military.com, is suddenly and chaotically having hundreds of soldiers be recruiters, and they have to be recruiters immediately. So they're just running out of people willing to join this militant arm of the furry community. And so now they're just getting a ton of their current LGBTQ members to become recruiters with essentially minimal to no training. So let's see what this article has to say in military.com. Without warning, hundreds of non-commissioned officers were ordered via email to report to the recruiting school at Fort Knox, Kentucky in less than a week, with hundreds more set to start at the school in December, a sudden unexpected move by the Army as the service scrambles to boost its recruiting force by 800 by the end of the year. And they're certainly going to need it because you have to be certifiably insane to join the United States military. The orders came after a breakdown in how the Army tracks how many recruiters it has come through the pipeline, along with retention of existing ones, according to Lieutenant General Douglas Stitt, the Army's top personnel officer. Douglas Stitt, that does not sound like a very diverse person's name. So I think hopefully this person is transgender. Otherwise, they should really give up their position to someone who fills more historically marginalized groups. Okay? The sudden depletion of recruiters caught Army planners flat-footed, with officials unable to provide a clear explanation as to what went wrong. Now NCOs will likely have to move during the holiday season in the middle of the school year, sowing chaos for families. Wow. Given the 6-day heads up, we have zero time to plan childcare, one non-commissioned officer told military.com. On the condition of anonymity, because they were not authorized to talk to the media. We can barely find enough for childcare during the week as it is. So now my wife may end up having to quit her job entirely because it is impossible to find on the weekend. The Army has roughly 10,000 recruiters, but that force has been bleeding troops over the past year. I mean, who would have guessed? I mean, have they properly trained these recruiters in terms of talking about critical race theory and intersectionality? Because, I mean, that's what really gets people to join the military. I mean, how else are they going to get these macho furries to join, these masculine furries? The 800 emergency recruiting students will allow the service to maintain its numbers. Recruiters have reported to military.com in recent months of working longer hours and in some cases getting fired for missing quotas. Can they really afford to fire people in the military at this point? I mean, you've gone past the point of scraping the bottom of the barrel at this point. You have to accept everyone. I heard recently that they're going to start accepting illegal immigrants into the United States military because they're just running out of people, and illegal immigrants will do any job. So the article goes on to say, I want to apologize to the soldiers and families for receiving this last-minute notification. That mistake is mine, Stitt told reporters Wednesday. So clearly not qualified for their job if they're acting like this. He goes on to say, it's not lost on me, particularly at this point in time, on the cusp of the holidays, the impact this has on our soldiers and NCOs. The mad dash to fill its recruiter ranks has the Army dismissing minimum... Oh, no. The mad dash to fill its recruiter ranks has the Army dismissing minimum standards to send soldiers to the school, including getting rid of requirements that they have to pass fitness scores and be in compliance with body weight standards, according to an internal email reviewed by military.com. Some soldiers who were set to be drill sergeants will be reassigned as recruiters. So they can't have people be drill sergeants anymore and train people because they just need to recruit more people. And so they're gonna also recruit people who are extremely morbidly obese now. So it's gonna be very fun to see these people who are just as wide as they are tall try to recruit people to join the military. So getting rid of their minimum standards. United States military never change. To incentivize recruiting roles, the Army is offering promotions and sometimes money. The service will promote. I mean, you might as well offer money. You're just printed anyways. You change some decimal places on a spreadsheet and you have more US dollars. The service will promote sergeants going to recruiting school to staff sergeant, assuming they are not flagged for reasons such as failing the fitness test. No questions asked. Sergeant Major Chris Stevens, the top enlisted leader for personnel policy, told reporters the opportunity will extend to soldiers recently promoted to sergeant with time in service and grade requirements being waived. So you don't need a certain amount of time in service, and you don't need to have a certain grades anymore to be promoted. Wow, there's no standards to the United States military. It's really a matter of, do you believe in critical race theory? Yes. All right, put on a uniform. You're going into combat. Which theater of war? It's, I don't know, maybe in South America this time, maybe in Africa, maybe in Asia. I mean, it could be Europe, any theater of war. America is everywhere. We just have to send our intersectionally trained military to every theater of war across every continent of the world. Okay, so possibly serving as fast track on the enlisted promotion ladder. The soldier is still expected to complete the advanced leader course, but it's unclear if that needs to be done within a year as is required with temporary promotions. Those who attend recruiting school and attend by February will earn a $5,000 bonus. Current recruiters who extend their recruiting contracts can earn $1,500 per month for 1 year. Staff sergeants who volunteer for recruiting school and recruit 24 applicants in their first year on the job will be promoted to sergeant first class. The incentive is not for the group of soldiers who are forced to go to the school. The services have been struggling with recruiting since the COVID-19 pandemic. The Army has attributed many of its problems to a shallow pool of qualified applicants and a relatively healthy job market. The recruiters have fought to find applicants who are fit enough to serve amid a nationwide obesity epidemic while flagging performance on the academic entrance exam. Blamed on underfunding at America's public schools adds another challenge. So America's just failing all across the board. They're morbidly obese. They're not intelligent enough to pass tests. They're not willing to join the militant arm of the furry community, otherwise known as the American military. I mean, America's just, if you're staying in America and like, I understand if you have like roots there, you have family members there, and you don't want to move out of the country. I understand that. That's very unfortunate for you. But if you don't really have those roots and you could just pick up and leave, like, I have no idea why you're still in America at this point, because this is, America is a doomed country. And I used to say it was about 50-50 chance that it would be defeated either militarily or just socially by its people by 2050. Now it's like, is it going to last till 2030? There's a ton of evidence that it's probably not going to last until 2030. So I would strongly recommend getting out of the country if you are still living in America. Okay, so let's move on with this article. The Space Force and Marine Corps hit their recruiting goals last year, but those services are much smaller than the rest and therefore have a lower bar for recruiting quotas. The active duty part of the Army came up 10,000 new recruits short of its goal of 65,000. So it wasn't short by a small amount. It was they had 55,000 recruits and they needed 65,000 recruits. Okay, so that's a huge deficit. And it's just going to get worse over time. And they're lowering the standards in order to meet that 55,000, which is still lower than what they wanted. The Army Reserve is in an even more dire situation. The Army Reserve is in an even more dire situation, getting only 9,319 new soldiers. Its goal was to recruit 14,000. So just embarrassing. I guess they just don't have enough critical race theory classes to get people enticed to join the military anymore. So the article ends with the Army National Guard fared much better, bringing in 29,457 new soldiers, just shy of its 30,880 soldier goal. So I imagine they threw away the minimum requirements there too, and they still couldn't meet their goal. So that's for 2023. I can't wait to see what 2024 is like. I mean, they're going to have so little luck getting people to join the military, because the thing is, prior military people are telling their family members and friends not to join the military, because why would you? The military hates you. I mean, the military hates the populace of the United States. It's hostile. It creates divisions. It doesn't protect the American borders. It doesn't fight wars to defend America. It fights wars to defend the Zionist banking cartels that control America instead. I mean, it's just a horrendous government and military. So interesting article. If you found this interesting too, please give us a thumbs up. It helps us in the algorithm. Please subscribe to our channel. on YouTube and Rumble for more content. Please tell a friend about our channel. We are trying to grow our channel. We are being suppressed in the algorithm. We used to get 4-digit view counts. Now we're getting 1 or 2-digit view counts. So we do want to boost that view count. And we have some ways that we're going to do it in the future. I'll talk about later. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, critiques, please leave that in the comment box below. I do read all of them and I do respond when necessary. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.